So late 2020, around December, I decided to make my own company called Second Chance Supply, and this idea revolved around selling secondhand and vintage clothing through a website called Depop. So since then, I've gained 31,000 plus followers on Depop, a few thousand on other social medias, and I want to say I'm around 1,800 sales to date, and I've made around $65,000 selling secondhand clothing. So in the past 6 months, I've made a total of $14,000 plus, and I wanted to take this time to make this video to talk about what type of work and effort I'm putting into my business and what it's like growing on Depop over these past few years. So on average per month right now, I'm making around $2,000 to $3,500, and I'm constantly increasing. That number is constantly going up. Last year, I was probably 1,200 to 2,000, and it was very rare to break that 2,000 mark. And with this constant increase, there is a constant increase in your storage and how many pieces you have listed. So right now I'm sitting at around 1,050 pieces, and you can see it in this room. I have stuff even behind the camera. There's a lot of storage that comes involved with this, and a big question I get asked is, how do you find your pieces? And this is mainly when people come in person and like look at my stuff, my friends, my family, people that wanted to just check it out and they live near me. They say, how do you find stuff when you sell it? And personally, I have no labeling system. I have nothing other than my jackets are hanging, everything on shelves is shorts, pants, shirts. And then I have my small bins on the ground that are hats, bags, other small accessories, just stuff like that. And people say, well, why don't you put a number or label on it? And I know where everything is. I do not forget anything. I have never forgotten where I put a piece because I just know where it's at. I remember everything when it comes to this, and I don't think the number or labeling would help, because when I lose a piece, it's because it's covered, and that number would not help me whatsoever. And I think it is a really big, tedious thing to have to label stuff as well, because I'm trying to, you're trying to make everything go as fast as possible, so you're making well worth of your time. Because if you're taking super long to list pieces, you're essentially making less per hour. So I try to make it as efficiently as possible. I am snapping really quick photos and then I put it up. No labeling system, just my jackets are hanging, everything else is not a jacket or a long sleeve, and then everything in my bins is my accessories. So that's how I keep everything super organized. So to continue on making your money worth your time, I get this question so much, is where do I source? How do you source? Who is your supplier? And my biggest thing is I do exactly what everyone else is doing. I go store to store to store. I garage sale. I find wholesalers online. And my biggest thing is, if you're going to Goodwill, you have to know how to get things for cheap. And they have a 20% off coupon they give out every single month. If you spend over $20, all you have to do is subscribe to their email or something. And that is what makes Goodwill worth it. If I have just one item that's like $19, I don't make the mark, I'll have to get something else. Because if you're paying that much money, you have to upsell that jacket of $20+. They're the biggest scammers, honestly. They target resellers and they target people that are willing to pay these prices for these really expensive items that are either trashed, are worn out, not that valuable. And I see it all the time. And even fake designer, they constantly sell fake designer. It's like they don't even have an authentic check. It'll be destroyed and it's still going for $20+. So if you're buying from Goodwill, use coupons. You're wasting so much money if you don't. Go to thrift stores that are smaller. Go to them when they have sales. Garage sales are really big. Try to get big deals. Try to get big bundles. And a lot of people throw away clothes. You would not realize how much clothes get thrown away. And you have to make a little bit of connections. I hate this part of it when it comes to there's so much competition with making connections, and the people that people I know that are really, really close to me, they constantly tell me, oh, this guy came up to me today. He wanted to, like, cook me food if he could look through all the clothes that we're gonna throw away. And it's just like, the mooching is ridiculous, and you're gonna find so much competition when it comes to trying to find connections to get clothes, even though these clothes are going to landfills. It blows my mind that these people would honestly rather just throw them away instead of like donating them to another store that would take them, because there's stores out there that definitely will take clothes that are looked over at other stores. So that's a big thing, is people throw away clothes. Find those people that are throwing away tons of clothes, because I know very many stores that throw away like truckloads to landfills, and it's really, really sad, because I've gone through them and I found a lot of good stuff I've personally kept, and it's really sad. So make those connections, use coupons, find bundle deals, and you can even like put out flyers online talking about how you buy secondhand clothes. I've done that for a little bit. I did that through Facebook and OfferUp. It's not like the easiest thing to do, but it is a way to get some more clothes. So make your sourcing worth your time. You don't want to have to try and sell a really expensive jacket for $10 more and have to hold on to it and make very little profit. So make your sourcing worth your time. So another thing that people constantly tell me is when I post my progress and tell them, oh, I made this amount on Depop, they go, well, how much did you make after shipping? You probably made nothing after shipping. You probably made half that, or yada yada. Like, it's never a positive thing. I always get this really negative thing about shipping. And in the past 3 years, I've only spent $5,800 on shipping. And that might sound like a lot, but if you know how much shipping is, in 3 years, that is not bad at all. Like, subtract that from a few, like $60,000 to $70,000. Really, that is not a lot of money. And I'm honestly surprised that it is that low, because I've sent out a lot of stuff. So the way I keep my shipping so low is I use I think it's a third-party provider. It's called Pirate Ship. I've made a video about this, but it makes every package that I ship out about 20% off every single one. So it is a great way to save money. It even has like a little statistic sheet in this website of how much I saved on shipping versus if I went to the post office and shipped it out myself. And I want to say it's like $1,000 to $2,000 that I've actually saved. So that's a big thing. And I just don't think shipping is that big of an issue. It is something that bothers me, because I hate to ship out a jacket that I'm only selling for $20 and the shipping is $9.50. So I'm making half of what I sold it for, because I don't have my shipping listed as super high. So I always list my stuff as $5.65 or $6.56. I think it's a really good medium of selling stuff, because sometimes you ship things that are $3 and $4, and then there's this gap, and then there's like 8 and 9. And I don't know why that those are the select prices that shipping providers like to give. But sometimes you take a win, sometimes you take a loss. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because when people see a $9 shipping fee, they don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy it. I personally would look at that and be like, that's ridiculous. $9 for shipping. And I think that has a lot to do with people buying on Amazon, and the shipping is usually never that. Most people have Prime, so it's always like free. And personally, I don't do free shipping. I would not advocate for it either, because it is a big fee. You probably wouldn't make nearly as much as if you did just having a shipping price on your items. Because people seeing a $10 item with free shipping, as well as like an $8 item with $5 shipping, it's very like iffy on which one is a good deal or not, because people expect to pay shipping most of the time when you're buying through these apps, because it's not usually not usually something that has free shipping. So it's really hard concept to like talk into making sense, but most people are expecting to pay shipping, but they're not expecting to pay $9 on shipping. So my big thing is find a medium. Mine is $5.65 and $6.56. I think it is like that psychological pricing number where it's not too little, it's not too much, but it's a good medium. So sometimes you take a win, sometimes you take a loss on that, and it cuts into your actual item's price, but you don't have to spend that much on shipping, honestly. Like I said, it's $5,000 out of $60,000. It's not that much, and it's not something you should be fearful of. If you go to the actual post office, you should fear it. You need to ship your stuff from home. You'll save 20% on every single one. It's a lot. At the end of the day, it is so much money that you are not losing for no reason. So that's my big thing, is use pirate ship. It's safe. I've used it for 3 years. It's great. I'm not even like endorsed by it. It's just like when everyone asks me, oh, like how do I ship my stuff? Use pirate ship. It's the cheapest way. So to summarize my Depop experience into 3 years down into a few minutes, I personally like Depop. I think it is a really easy platform to use and grow on. I've used Poshmark, Mercari, Grailed. I want to say there's a few more, but those are the main ones that I remember. And they're so complicated and slow, and they're not easy for like, if I wanted to just hop on there and understand everything. It's not simple and as easy as it is Depop. And I really advocate, like, if you're getting into selling clothes, this is 100% the app for you. I've personally never been like endorsed by them, so I know I sound like I am, but I think they're great. I really have liked the past 3 years. I've had very little issues, and some of them were just really stupid, to where it was like their automated systems of like detecting fake designer items took down a few of my posts, or someone would report something because they're actually trying to scam me when I like sent them something, and usually those get resolved in my favor. So it's been really easy. Growing is super easy. Shipping stuff is super easy. Refunds are super easy, and it's overall been really like enjoyable. They send you out stats each month, and I get to see my stats. I'm usually in the top 1,000, which is crazy to me because this is such a huge application. I have never been in the top 100, and I hope to get there one day. And it surprises me that there are people out there that are making that much more money than me. And it always is a little reality check of, oh, I made, I don't know, like a few thousand this week, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, you're 850. I'm like, wow, that is like really surprising that there's 850 people making that much more than me per week is insane. So there obviously is room to grow and become more successful in this. Like, that is achievable. So that's really cool, as well as they send out these cool, they did a little end of the year recap, which is this is the first year they did that, and I thought that was really interesting. I made a video on that as well. They're pretty interactive on some of their social medias, and if I didn't live in the United States, I would like to work for them personally, because I think it's a great platform they have going, and I would love to see them become one of the more popular ones. I know they are, but like more dominate the reseller area, and hopefully in the future lower their fees just a little bit. I do think they're a little high, but I still make very, very good profit off of selling through them. So it's a great place to grow and start off if you're a new reseller. I'm personally going to stick with it. I don't even like the other ones because I've used them all, and I think they're really slow, and they need to become more simple and user friendly. So my experience has been good. I've had little issues, and there's nothing that I would like advise watching out for, other than like I find most people to want to message people instead of sending them an offer. And I honestly think sending messages is the biggest like annoyance ever. It bothers me, especially when you could have just sent me an offer. So don't send out messages. I don't think they work, because every time I've thought about it, and every time I check the profile of the person messaging me, they don't have a lot of sales, or they're not popular. So send out offers. Don't message people if you're like offering them something, because there's already a feature to do that. That's not as annoying. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll leave the link to my Depop in the description if you want to go check that out. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.